YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with my Chiefs 2021 offseason rebuilds. Did the Dolphins already? This is episode number 2. We're doing every single team. I'll show you in a second how the order is determined, and the order can change right now, but it's up to you guys. In these videos, it's my opinion what teams should do. I play GM. I make cuts, restructures if needed, clear some space, see what kind of space we can clear, re-sign free agents, and then 2 different scenarios, each with major free agency targets and major draft targets. So, and then I post after the video is uploaded, I post on Twitter which option you vote for, which one was better in your opinion. So did that for the Dolphins already. Plenty more to come. Can't wait to do this for every team. Hopefully you guys enjoy it because these are an insane amount of work here, but I love doing them. Please subscribe. Full NFL offseason content, predictions, everything. Great, every single free agency signing, NFL draft coverage, mock drafts, anything you can think of, we got you. So please subscribe. Follow Twitter. It's a must follow there, keeping you guys involved in this constant talk the second NFL news breaks. Link in the description and comments for anything that you need there. Here's the Twitter, and this is also how this order is determined. So I posted this poll, and this also creates a future fan base video, but besides the point. Team with the most votes from the division with the most votes was first. The Dolphins won that, and then we go to the next division with the most votes, and the next division with the team with the most votes, and so on. So we'll circle back to the AFC East. So the Bills looks like they'll be the, after we get through each division with one team, they'll be next. So kind of gives you an example. This kind of gives you a head start to these videos. This is free. Link I'll pin in the comments along with everything else. Just gives you an idea of potential cap space. Projected cuts, I've predicted every single cut that's happened so far, minus J.J. Watt. Was not expecting that one. And how much space they can clear. So pretty useful stuff there. Link in the description. Check it out. But to the Chiefs, cap space not looking too good. This is kind of worst case scenario. The cap number could rise. We're still waiting on the official number, but it's a very realistic number. It's kind of what it is right now, negative 21.9. Cuts, I'm just cutting Chad Henne, $1.25 million. I think you can find a better backup quarterback. Maybe later in the draft for dirt cheap or undrafted. But so 1.25 helps a little bit at least. You got to restructure some contracts. If you're looking to get at all better or even bring guys back, you got to restructure some contracts. So I went ahead and did this. I went in and crunched the numbers, restructured some big contracts. And that number is how much I cleared. So that's not their new cap number. That's how much I cleared. You can clear a whopping $17.42 million from Frank Clark, $13.47 million from Tyrann Mathieu, and then $10.18 from Eric Fisher. Keep in mind you can restructure more contracts too. Keep in mind these aren't pay cuts; they're restructures. Here's the bad thing: with this, the amount you saved, you'll have to pay throughout the future. Not in 1 year; it's spread out through the future. So that money cleared. We have to be paid out the future. So the bad thing is maybe why they wouldn't do this or wouldn't do as many of these things, of many of these restructures, is because they pay Mahomes a lot in the future. They pay Tyreek Hill, Chris Jones a lot in the future, and they'll be limited then. But the good news is, and kind of a flaw in the NFL, I guess, contract rules, is you can just keep doing it. So next year we can take Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't have a big cap hit in 2021, so that's why we didn't restructure his. Take Mahomes, take Hill, Chris Jones, and then do this with theirs and push it back. And then the next year we can push some more back. And the next year we can just kind of keep doing it. It could work in a negative way. The Saints are in their current situation because of that, but it works so long for them. So we'll see some restructures, I think. Probably these guys, maybe not all 3. I went ahead and did all 3. We're kind of going big here. So that cleared. You see cap space after cuts and restructures, you're all the way up to $20.42 million. Still not a ton, but you pretty much flipped it. You were negative 21. So re-signing Travarius Ward, good young corner for them. Him and L'Jarius, Sneed, they probably need another one as well. I like Bashaud Breeland. I think he's not nothing great. He'll get beat time from time, but he's better than people give him credit for. Really good tackler. They use him in the slot, use him outside. Very physical, good man coverage. But you're gonna let him go. You're probably gonna have to go with some cheaper options. Some linemen, and I know some of these linemen were part of the disaster in the Super Bowl, but they're solid guys, when they're in the right spots. Andrew Wiley was playing tackle in the Super Bowl. He's really a guard. Get him back, probably cheaper. Austin Ryder, they like at center, probably on the cheaper side. Daniel Sorensen, they actually like. I know that, they got Tyrann Mathieu, they got Juan Thornhill, so they could let Sorensen walk, but he still plays a ton of snaps. They like him. He's crucial for them. Another underrated guy, too. Better than, he's nothing special, but I think better than people give him credit for. Tough one, Damian Wilson. I like Damian Wilson. He's been pretty important to them. But I think they were kind of planning on having Willie Gay Jr. step up in that spot, with Anthony Hitchens there. So tough decision there. Probably have to let Damian Wilson walk. Now we get into option one. Again, I have two options. Option one, you go for those big-name guys that might come a little cheaper playing for a team like the Chiefs. 1-year deals, probably. 1-year deal option scenario here. T.Y. Hilton, love the fit. T.Y. Hilton, I could see this too. With the Chiefs, love the fit there. You're going to lose Sammy Watkins. You're going to lose Demarcus Robinson. You're going to lose these guys. You're going to need a receiver. So get T.Y. Hilton, who could be a pretty big factor. And he probably knows that too. He wants to win. All these years, he wants to win a Super Bowl playing with Mahomes. He might get more production at the same time. And you bring a familiar face back. Just happens to be from the Colts as well. Justin Houston. He played more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, edge rusher with the Chiefs back in the day. Goes to the Colts, 4-3 end. People question, would it work? It worked. He's been playing pretty well, so he definitely can work in the Chiefs 4-3 since he left. They switched to a 4-3. Bring him back. He definitely could want to retire here. Cheaper deal. Probably play cheaper here than most other places. Maybe Chiefs or Colts for cheap. Pair him with Frank Clark. Got a good edge rush group there. And Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson's not going to get as much money as he thinks. I just kind of got that feeling. Maybe it's a little harsh, but I just kind of get that feeling. So he's going to get to, and he might not even care anyways. He might just want to be on the best team. So there you go. But if he's getting less money than he thinks, he's like, well, hell, I might just go to the best possible team. I mean, he was a little rough last year, but still solid. And he can definitely help out the Chiefs for sure. So these are kind of the 1, maybe 2-year deal, maybe for like a guy like T.Y. Hilton. Cheaper options scenario. Then you go to the draft, end of the first round, you get a guy like Samuel Cosmi, who can be your future tackle there. The thing with the Chiefs, they need offensive line, but when they're healthy, their current group, as long as they re-sign those guys that are re-signed, their current group healthy and all in the right spots is still a really good offensive line. So they don't really need offensive linemen to start right now unless some of those guys walk in free agency. They need guys for the future. So Samuel Cosmi can be a very near future tackle, very important. Ronnie Perkins, who I actually kind of compared to Frank Clark. Frank Clark's going to have a little more to build to him, heavier. But Ronnie Perkins reminds me of Frank Clark a little bit. So that can be, Justin Houston, probably a 1-year deal. So then Perkins could be the future opposite of Frank Clark there. And then Deontay Brown, physical. His nickname's Cornbread. Physical guard from Alabama. So they'll like him. Possibly can beat out somebody and start right away. So those are the top 3 picks for them, first 3 rounds, top additions there in scenario 1. They could get better day 1 at guard. So that's kind of the thinking there. They could get better. Tackle, if they're healthy, they're good there. So maybe Deontay Brown could play right away, or maybe they should go a little bigger at guard in free agency. So the other scenario, you kind of go for a guy like Joe Thuney here. From the Patriots. So that's where you spend your big money there. You spend your big money, getting a guy like that. And then you kind of that's kind of the problem with this option, but it's a pretty good option. Maybe it takes a little cheaper to play for a winning team, but you really upgrade that interior, which can be upgraded for sure. And then maybe they can run the ball a little better, get Clyde Edwards-Helaire going a little more there. So you spend most of your money there with Joe Thuney. So then you go some cheaper options. Solomon Thomas, who's been a little underwhelming, but still can play if healthy. You kind of get him. Maybe he plays opposite of Frank Clark there. Kello Witherspoon, kind of a replacement for Bashaud Breeland, a little cheaper, long, young corner. So he can fit them for, you kind of got to go with the little, still solid options, solid cheap options here, 1 to 2 year deal, tryout, almost trial run, because you're going big with a guy like Joe Thuney. And then you go into the draft, and again, receivers a pretty big need. Getting a guy like Terrace Marshall, I like him because he can play outside and in. Kind of that lengthier guy that they contested catch, possession guy that they've been missing a bit. So I would like that fit a little bit. Alex Leatherwood sounds like he can drop a little bit. He can be their future tackle. Also, there's some talk about him possibly playing guard, so that helps him a lot. Another receiver, I do think they need multiple receivers because it's Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, somewhat of a gadget guy. Yeah, we can expect him to get a little better. But they need their receivers. They need receivers, so it's pretty much, Tyreek Hill and Terrace Marshall starting. Jalen Darden, they'll be all over him. That's like another Tyreek Hill type of player. Big-time playmaker, great route runner, insane footwork, crazy speed, quickness. So Jalen Darden, who is soaring up my board at least, I think he'll go around 3. They'll like him. So they're really just loading up the receiver position because it was lacking actually in the Super Bowl, and they're going to lose some guys free agency. So this route definitely different than the other route, but 2 different routes they can go here. We can post a poll on Twitter with these graphics, which option is better in your opinion. You guys can vote. But yeah, that's my Chiefs rebuild for the offseason. Let me know your guys' thoughts here on this. Again, we are doing every single team. This is only episode 2. We did the Dolphins and the Chiefs. That's it. We're going to get through every single one. They're a ton of work, but I really love doing them. So if you can join us for that, as well as our other NFL offseason content, which is tons of it already on the channel. Please smash that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. That'll be much appreciated. That is going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.